Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook and also on YouTube, where we take a look at news from our city, state, and country. And we also take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions, all with the good hope that we can better connect with each other and with our city, Puerto Vallarta, a place where we live or where we enjoy vacationing or we enjoy coming back to when it's time to come back to the city. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd. I must confess I'm a little distracted because my baby, Luna, is not doing so good. I'm going to take her to the vet today to get some clarity, so do forgive me if I'm not my usual lively person. We also don't have particularly good news today to share, and in fact, we have a very heinous incident to report, and I think it is important to talk about these things as well. So let's get on with this, and let me, as usual, remind you, if you have an important comment that you wish to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment, and if you're watching live for the first time, please write a capital letter N as in new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Let me start with the news. We have reports that, and this comes from Alejandro Torres Magaña, who's the general director of the Puerto Vallarta Hotel and Motel Association. He reported that hotel occupancy during Semana Santa reached 95%. Which sounds really good. But he also mentioned that unlike other years, everybody seems to think that visitors chose to stay within their hotels this year rather than explore the Malecón, restaurants, streets, or beaches. So it's a mystery. They say it was good occupation. Other people are reporting it wasn't as good, but it is what it is. Hotel occupancy for this week is expected to be around 80%. And of course, regretfully, there's always casualties during vacations, and 3 casualties have been reported due to drowning so far, according to the Civil Protection and Firefighters Department. All I can say about this is just be careful. If the lifeguard says don't go swimming, just don't go swimming. And if you don't know how to swim, well, don't go swimming either. And then there's this one. Puerto Vallarta was in the national spotlight during a recent press conference by President Sheinbaum for having one of the highest gas prices in the country. This time around, a gas station called Valero, located on the highway to Tepic, was the culprit. They charged 25 pesos and 49 centavos per liter of regular gas. It's been a while since I've driven a car, but that does sound like a lot of money. And in the aftermath of the passing of Pope Francis, we learned that Archbishop of Guadalajara, Francisco Robles Ortega, will attend the Vatican following the news yesterday morning, of Pope Francis's death. He will participate in the conclave to be held in the coming days to elect the new pontiff. We also learned that President Sheinbaum will not be able to attend the funeral, which I understand is scheduled for this Saturday. However, I did read that our Minister of Government will attend on her behalf. So here's a curious one. Picture yourself watching a soccer match on television, a Mexican soccer match on television. You're watching on a Mexican network, and all of a sudden pops out a commercial from the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security advising people not to immigrate illegally to the United States. And President Sheinbaum did not like that. And there's a law in place in Mexico's constitution that forbids it. And that law says radio and television broadcasting concessionaries and permit holders in the country may not broadcast political, ideological, or commercial propaganda of foreign governments or entities, nor may they allow the media outlets operating under their concession to be used for purposes that could influence internal affairs. Tómala. So Sheinbaum was not happy, and I cannot blame her. Who wants to see that lady in Mexican television? Not our president, but that other lady. Anyhow, it is what it is. And only God knows how they managed to position an ad in Mexican television warning Mexicans against going to the United States without paperwork. But that's that. And of course, this brings us to the really unfortunate situation that I posted about yesterday on our Facebook page. And I'd like to start this by showing you this image. We're going to go backwards. It says at the top, Comisaría de Seguridad Pública. This is the public security commissary. And it says, they left me here bleeding on the side of a dark road in the middle of the night after being handcuffed for hours while they all laughed at me. I'm still in shock and I'm not sure what to do. I am bruised and very sore. I honestly can't even comprehend the last 5 hours. I'm just lucky to be alive. This happened in Puerto Vallarta. Now, to give you some perspective, let me show you on the map where this commissary is located. It's out in the boondocks. It's out on Highway 554 in the middle of nowhere. I don't know that I would want to be left alone in the middle of nowhere in a dark highway at night under any circumstances, much less having been the victim of police brutality in my own city. But this happened. And the worst part probably is that I found out about it through this article published by Entertainment Weekly north of the border that says that Canada's Drag Race Season 4 winner Venus shared disturbing images of herself in the aftermath of what she says was a brutal attack by police over the weekend in the Mexican city of Puerto Vallarta in Jalisco. The international RuPaul's Drag Race franchise winner posted a series of Instagram stories Sunday in which she alleged that she was abducted by the police and was handcuffed and tossed around in the back of a truck hatchback, in addition to also being robbed. And she says, I was choked and kicked for an hour. And then they took $1,000 cash from me and my headphones. And then I had to pay for that. I paid to them hundreds more dollars to get released. And I can't even call the police because they're the ones who did this, Venus wrote in her post, which also contained images of red marks along her elbow, chest, and stomach. Shortly after I published something to this effect on our Facebook page, I heard from Poncho Dávalos, who sits on the Vallarta Gay Plus Community Center, and he sent me this official statement, and I will read it to you. It says, at the Vallarta Gay Plus Community Center, we strongly condemn any act of violence against members of the LGBTQ plus community and the general public. We are deeply saddened by the incident involving Venus, winner of Canada's Drag Race. Since learning of the event, we have reached out and offered our full support. We have been in touch with Venus and have been assured that she does not require medical attention or assistance with a legal complaint at this time. We are here for her and for any member of our community in need. And in response to this incident, we are scheduling a meeting with nighttime venue owners to coordinate proactive safety measures for LGBTQ plus visitors and residents. We are also meeting with local police authorities tomorrow, that will be today, to explore further actions and reinforce our collaboration. As part of our ongoing commitment to safety, we are developing Safe Zone, a community-led initiative that will outline clear protocols for reporting violence or discrimination and offer direct support in navigating the process with authorities. Puerto Vallarta remains one of the safest tourist destinations in Mexico, consistently rated as such by numerous travel websites and international visitors. It is a city of inclusion, pride, and unity, and together we will continue working to ensure it remains a safe and welcoming space for all. That's horrible. And you know what? It is horrible, and I'm going to unload a little bit here. It is sad because it does not, first of all, it happens more frequently than you know. You simply don't hear about it. You don't hear about these things. Certainly, you don't hear about them here in Coffee and Headlines because this is not the kind of reporting that I choose to bring to the table more often than not. But it happens frequently. Police abuse of authority is something that happens a lot here. And it also happens to everyone and anyone. It happens to Mexican nationals. It happens to foreigners. It happens to men. And it happens to women as well. And it is a horrible thing to see happen. And it is not an isolated incident. And I bring it to your attention only because if we don't talk about these things, they don't get addressed. The only coverage that I have seen about this morning was an article reminding us of a meeting that took place at a local nightclub on March 13, just over a month ago, in which Public Security Commissioner Eduardo Horacio Llanas met with leaders from the LGBTQ plus community. And the purpose of the meeting was to remind people that any instance of abuse of authority by the police must be reported for the government to be able to act accordingly. Now, this report can be made at the new Lázaro Cárdenas Park office. I am sure that even though that particular office has only to do with LGBT-related issues, I am sure that anyone who has an incident of police abuse can go to this office and report the incident as well. I think that the Puerto Vallarta commissioner has a lot to respond to. I think our mayor, Luis Munguia, has a lot to respond to. And it is unfortunate, number one, that we haven't heard from either. It is unfortunate that local media are not talking about this. I have not seen this reported anywhere. And I sure hope that something happens and something gets reported. And, you know, if there is an act of civil disobedience announced, I'm going to be there because this should not happen in this day and age. It is just unfortunate that it did. I look forward to reading some of your comments. And let us jump over to the weather just to see what's going on out there. Great, Paco. Turn the weather on. Oh, dear. Okay, here we go. Blinding sunlight is the perfect cure for a hangover, says our snarky weatherman. It is 25 degrees out there. Humidity is at 56%, quite comfortable. And it says here that we are going to enjoy mostly clear skies throughout the day today with a high of 28 and a low of 15. Tomorrow, Wednesday, clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 27 and a low of 15. And then Thursday, mostly clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 27, a low of 16. And of course, Thursday will be a fabulous day to enjoy this. Hey, have you heard this one? How about this one? Or this one? In fact, there are a number of tunes out there that come from classical works, but do you know their composers or the titles? In my next music appreciation presentation titled, Oh, That One, we will examine a few of these very popular melodies and unpack their origin. But even better than that, we will play a Name That Tune game in which those present will be able to win wonderful prizes donated by awesome members of our Coffee and Headlines community. So join me on Oh, That One on Thursday, April 24 at 5 p.m. at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work so you too can say, Oh, that one. Oh, that one. Ah, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Let's see what your comments are all about this morning. I see lots of good mornings. Thank you very much. I see healing thoughts for Luna. You know, she's a lady of age, and I saw a telling sign on the floor, a certain color of vomit that is a clear sign that I know exactly what's wrong with her, and it's common with cats. And all I can say is I've had 11 wonderful years with her, and I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted on that one. But thank you for your sweet wishes. I really appreciate those. Let's see. Yay, 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 yay. Congratulations to Kathy Lay for finally getting an appointment on the Mexican consulate in Vancouver to apply for temporary residence. Mazel tov. Congratulations. Let's see. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Luna is my everything. Luna and Lars. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I was warning about these commercials coming in by Ice Barbie, as they call her. I've upgraded my YouTube to premium to avoid the commercials there. But the other evening, the commercial came on over the loudspeaker at the food park next to Puerto de Luna, and it was absolutely surreal. Truly dystopian, like something out of 1984 or Brave New World. Yes, well, again, there's a law in place. It has not been acted upon, but President Sheinbaum is working on that. Then I see your comments on the situation. It is absolutely horrible. It is unbelievable that in this day and age, something like this happens in Puerto Vallarta. And I am going to remark that, yes, it is important to see how the LGBTQ community always champions these issues. And there's great representation. But again, don't think for a second that this only happens in the gay community. And of course, we don't know the circumstances under which this particular person was apprehended or what was going on. But even the worst criminal deserves due process. I mean, haven't we been reading a lot about this happening in the United States? Well, Mexico is no different. The laws here also guarantee due process. So I cannot even begin to imagine that this particular person could have been doing something so heinous that she deserves to be beaten, robbed by the police, and be left alone in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. It is just disturbing and completely unacceptable. Here's another one. A friend of mine was a victim of police taxi extortion, and when he refused to pay, he ended up in jail overnight. We quickly recovered him thanks to the right contacts. That was a couple of years ago. Never take a taxi from in front of the clubs or that you hail on the street. Um, Only from official taxi stands. That's great advice. Thank you very much, Eric. Um, could the attack be a backlash against the success of the community, or has this been going on for some time? My goodness, Ron, this has been going on ever since I arrived in Puerto Vallarta, and that was 22 years ago. Um, and it has, I don't think it has anything to do with the success of the community because, again, this happens to women. This happens to men, straight and gay. You know, if you're walking down the streets and you're wobbling and it's late at night, trust me, it'll happen to you. And it is just, unfortunately, it's just unfortunate, rather. Let's see. Laura says this happened to my brother-in-law 20 years ago. So they took all the cash in his wallet. So no jail time, but wow. Yes. And it is important to talk about it. So talk about it. And I was not hoping to get into this here today, but I think that if we dismiss these kinds of situations as isolated incidents, that's a part of the problem. It's not part of the solution. So I really hope that whoever is involved in handling the situation will continue to move forward. I'm deeply grateful to Poncho Davalos from the LGBTQ Community Center for sharing this information with me. I was very grateful to him when he shared it yesterday, and I asked to be kept in touch, and I'll keep you posted on whatever transpires in the coming days, or hopefully we'll see it reported in the local press as we should. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to go get Luna the care that she deserves and give me the clarity that I need to move forward with my day, and hope that tomorrow will be a brighter day for everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Take care. Oh, why am I still here? Because I didn't push the right button. Here we go.